Greetings fellow mammals, we are analyzing the streamer's favorite choice of weapon today, the PP-29. But why do they like it so much? And why is it currently in A tier and not S tier if it's so good? And why do I recommend this setup? Well, that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's not waste any more time and pull up the charts. Bit more action in the last few episodes. We got 3 ammo types today. Much wow. Standard, which looks very standard-like. Then high power, which looks very high power-like. Could that mean subsonic is gonna look very subsonic-like? Yeah, I guess unfortunately that's a yes. This is the embodiment of subsonic. It just copies one of the ammo types, high power in this case, and then it's just worse. Well, at least we only have to pick between 2 choices now. But that decision is also gonna be real quick. Since the visual recoil rework patch, high power is basically unusable beyond 50 meters. That is a completely subjective take on my part, true, but if you manage to control high power at range and actually land more shots than you miss in a given engagement, please let me in on your secrets. For me, this was basically like using a garden hose in terms of accuracy at those ranges. And as you can see here, that should be the range where it surpasses standard. But from my experience, that just doesn't work in reality because I can't hit anything anymore due to the increased recoil and spread. This actually reminded me a lot of the PBX episode. The only difference is that here the magazine sizes play no significant role because they are all quite big. Granted, standard has a slightly bigger one and the reload is a tiny bit faster too, but now we are nitpicking. So from my experience trying this weapon again, standard is just better. In every way. Bigger magazine, faster reload, less spread, faster time to kill at the ranges where it matters. I don't know guys, maybe I'm missing something here, but I could not get high power to work for me. So I will put it as my backup ammo right after standard. And then the unfortunately, as almost always, dogshit subsonic ammo in the last slot. In combination with standard, I prefer the Arcom muzzle brake. With high power, none of these really made it work. Tactical was way too much recoil to hit anything, Warhawk made recoil tolerable but increased the spread so you can't hit anything. I don't know, I just don't get it. Anyhow, moving on. Wrapped, because obviously, and then maybe this would work with high power, the long barrel, but why? Just why? If you use this with high power to get a recoil and spread that makes it somewhat work, you lose the time to kill improvement, so you might as well just shoot them with standard ammo. Ends in the same result if you ask me. And if you are wondering now, can we not just pick a grip to help with that recoil? Well, no. This gun is a bit special in that regard because of the way it's built and where the magazine goes. We do not get access to any underbarrels, so this is all we can work with. So let's wrap this up. For the sights I go with my usual picks, red dot, thermal and 4x switchable. I'd like to add a small note here. If you have this Deathrate skin, the K8 holo sight gets a slightly different model, which looks like this. Some people prefer this over the red dot because you don't have the top bar and it's in general pretty sleek. I personally don't vibe with the green arrow reticle in general, so I don't use it that much. But just for your information, maybe you want to give it a try. The skin looks cool either way. So that's all we can do loadout wise. Not really a lot. Why do people say this has to be S tier then? Well, in my opinion, this basically boils down to a certain scenario, one you see a lot on social media. And I do get the appeal of it. When you manage to get a good flank in, you can mow down a lot of people before they can counter you because you have so much uptime. 65 rounds, 2-second reload, good damage and RPM. I get it. But I hate to break it to you, that is just not enough for me. If we are talking about damage and range, there are even weapons in the same category that bring better performance to the table. So the only downside those seem to have is not having 65, but only 41 rounds. Are you telling me that grants this gun the step up from A to S tier? If you genuinely think so, okay, I just don't. And don't get me wrong, I like the PP-29. I understand why so many people like it. But just because you can get some cool clips with it where you flank 10 people here and there, that does not make it S tier in my eyes. It will remain in a very strong A tier position. I expect your letters. But that's it for today. If you feel like I violated your favorite gun with this video, smash that dislike button. The algorithm appreciates it either way. For those among you with a heart rate that's still below 180 at this point, why don't you lovely people subscribe? I am sure you will enjoy the next video too. Because up next we have the GVT, which means I will have to edit a whole lot, so you are not just watching me missing headshots. But until then, I will see you on the battlefield. Sorrow out.